Oh, shit. Hi, I'm Ashley, and I love the 49ers.
And I'm Nicole, and I love the Chargers.
And we are touchdowns.
And tight ends.
And we are not experts.
We're not experts, but we are passionate.
We are. And I don't know that we have a lot to talk about this week, but we say that sometimes and then talk for a long time. But before we get into that, what are you drinking?
Same old, same old. Got the water.
Same. Cheers.
I need to get like a yellow one. I need to get a Charger color one.
Yeah, you do. I was gonna pour a LaCroix in like a wine glass, but I just got back from dropping Brixton off, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta run upstairs and get ready for this."
I think that's gonna be like our new thing. Is like it needs to at least feel like some sort of cocktail, like we have our wine. But
I'll drink a cocktail, but I have a friend coming over for cocktails later, and I only want a certain amount of cocktail tonight. So I was like, I don't want to drink that while we're on a live, and then Katie comes over, and I'm like, "Oh, I had my wine."
Yeah, you're like, I'm done now. She's like, what?
Yeah. So
what's up, David? Thank you for joining.
Thanks, David. Okay, before we get into football, I tried a new snack the other day that I saw on TikTok.
And a new snack?
Yeah, and it was so good.
What is it?
Okay. It sounds maybe kind of crazy, but do you like dates?
Yes.
Okay, get a date.
Butter.
Yeah, have you done that with the salt?
So good.
It's like cookie dough. I tried the other night. I had some wine and I got dates because I needed to add some fiber into my diet because I've been a little needing some fiber.
Backed up.
Yes. And so I was like, oh, dates. Like, I'm really trying to incorporate more whole foods. And I'd had some wine. I was like, oh, yeah, let me try that recipe. And I now, like an old lady, I keep butter on my counter. So I have soft butter all the time.
I do too.
And I was like, ooh, the soft butter. And I tried it. And I was like a little drunk. And I like took a bite. And I was like, oh my God. I wish I would have videoed my reaction. I was like, this is good. So last night I said, Brixton, do you want to try something that tastes like cookie dough? It looks crazy. Yeah. She looks at it, takes like a tiny bit, doesn't get the butter, like just a date, and is like, that's disgusting. And I'm like, you need to try the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah.
And then
did you do the sea salt on top?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how many calories am I getting by grabbing this big slab of butter and being like,
a lot.
I know, but it was good.
But it's good and it's whole food.
That's what I said. And like, it's like my sweet treat. Like, I'm not trying to track macros again, but I'm trying to like intuitively eat better. If I feel like I need to track them. Who's at my door? Oh, and my dermatologist is calling right now, probably to confirm. Why are they calling at 9 or at 6 o'clock to confirm my appointment?
Busy day.
Anyways, football.
Well, we've got David on. So why don't we so we were talking earlier and we were saying 2 weeks ago that we should probably go live every week because there's just so much to keep up with. And then this week we're like, oh, it's kind of quiet. There's not a whole lot. However, today, thank you for all the April Fool's jokes. There was a couple times where I forgot that it was April Fool's and I'd see these things and I'm like, what? Like, what is happening? And I was like, I don't believe anything that's going on right now. Not today.
It's funny because I feel like all those big free agency moves, for the most part, have happened. I think, what is it? Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers are like the biggest free agents out there. And I think the only team without a quarterback right now is the Steelers. Right?
Yeah. And I just saw there was a stupid April Fool's joke today with somebody talking about a certain quarterback going to the Steelers. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Isn't that where Rodgers is trying? And I was like, okay, never mind. It's not true.
I thought I saw, though, before April Fool's Day that Rodgers did go and like tour the facilities, or he met with the team last week.
I was under the impression that was the best bet for Aaron Rodgers. Well,
then where does Kirk Cousins go?
He's for sure not staying with the Vikings? I mean, the Falcons?
I don't know. Wait, did the Falcons get a quarterback?
I just saw something.
Who are the Falcons quarterbacks? Oh, God damn it. It's because they're leaving me a voicemail. Why is my Siri not working? My Siri's not working. My assistant's not working. Uh-oh. Ask yours.
Um,
Oh, who are the Falcons quarterbacks? Oh, it says Kirk Cousins still the quarterback.
yeah.
Wait.
Wait, so David said a couple things here. Jake Brendel and Jake like 20 times today.
I saw that. I did see that. But then the for real answer to that is Jake Moody has not been cut, but Shanahan is bringing in a veteran kicker to compete with him for the starting position. I don't know who, but that's what I saw. And I don't think that's an April Fool's joke. I think that is
legit.
Yeah, and probably needs to happen. So,
So is this the quarterback for the Falcons?
Maybe that's who they drafted. He started playing for Kirk Cousins at the end of the season. Do you remember they benched him?
That's right. That's right.
So if he is going to play, he's going to be a backup, maybe.
I feel badly for Kirk Cousins, man.
Yeah, he seems like such a good dude.
I think he's a really good dude, but he just can't find his spot.
But like also he's getting up there too, like him and Rodgers. I'm like, retiring is probably not crazy.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like he's probably going to play another year. I think there's a lot of guys out there right now that would probably have one more year left in them. And we're going to see a lot of people exit next year, I think.
Do you remember a few years ago when we saw a bunch of people exit? It was like Ben Roethlisberger. Who else left that year? Who was the Saints quarterback that I can't think of right now? Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Remember, like that year, a bunch of people retired, and we were like, "That's so crazy to watch this generation of players." You're right. We're coming up on like a whole nother generation of players who are going to retire.
Yeah, I mean, we lost that whole quarterback class, right? We had Phillip Rivers, Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and then we were all kind of like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is kind of the last one standing." I mean, I think he'll play next year. I don't know where, but I don't think there's much more time for him after that.
I don't know if anybody wants to play with him.
People keep talking about him going to the Niners. Is that even a possibility?
We just brought in Mac Jones on like a 2-year contract. So unless he's going to be a third string quarterback and get paid nothing.
Well, then I saw today, or not today, yesterday, so it's probably real. Trey Lance just got picked up by the Rams. So now we have Stafford, Kimmel,
Garoppolo,
Jimmy G, and now Trey Lance.
That is too funny because remember, they drafted Trey Lance to take Jimmy's spot when they were on the 49ers together.
Yeah, I know.
And now they're going to go be...
I mean, Stafford must be talking about retiring or something. I mean, to have that, it's not bad to have the backup like that, but makes you question what's going on.
Those are some pretty good backups. I mean, Trey Lance isn't that great. I don't know that he's proven himself enough to have a good enough evaluation.
Yeah.
So,
let's see here. Steelers have 2 options: Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Yep. And California isn't big enough for Kyle and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that would be. I know Ashley's not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Was it more Green Bay or is it just him?
It's him.
It's just him.
He reminds me of my ex-husband.
He reminds you of Kyle? He does remind me of Kyle.
All the crazy shit, weird alpha red pill male, like ashwagandha. I'm like, I can't do you, man.
Oh my gosh, that's
I also
funny.
don't think he has good leadership qualities. Like he does have an ego. Like he kind of seems like an asshole. And I think obviously being a good quarterback is being able to play well, but there is a leadership aspect of being able to manage a locker room and be an example. And I just think he doesn't have those qualities. Or maybe he did and he just doesn't anymore because he doesn't care anymore.
I really wonder behind the scenes, like how he is with his teammates. I saw the way he was towards Mike Williams, and he was just nasty, and he didn't like him at all. Mike Williams had a couple times where he dropped the ball. I mean, yeah, you can blame him for that, but when he came on to Green Bay, Brett Favre treated him like shit. So I don't know if he just kind of carried that with him. I know he was nice to Jordan Love, but like, why?
Nice to Davante Adams.
Yeah, right? They were buddies, but it's like you've got to be a true leader, like we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago with Ayuk, right? If you don't have that quality, especially as a QB, I don't know.
Yeah. That's where I always say I was a big fan of Jimmy's. He wasn't the best quarterback, but I feel like he just really exuded leadership and camaraderie. And that goes a long way in and out of the locker room.
Yeah.
I've been in leadership positions for too long, I swear to God. Speaking of Ayuk, there has still been talks of trading him, but there's like a guaranteed bonus that went through today. So like he's getting guaranteed like $23 million. So, and Shanahan has mentioned he's pretty confident Ayuk's going to play with us through 2025. But the doctors are saying he's not even going to be cleared to play until like mid-season.
Oh.
And who was it that also tore an ACL? And they just got signed to somebody. There was another player who tore their ACL, got signed with another team, and with all the drama with Ayuk going on, also made a statement saying, and I'll be ready to play week 1. Kind of as like a stab at Ayuk.
Was it Stephon Diggs?
Maybe.
I don't know. I do remember that there was someone that just happened with.
Yeah, I just feel like, again, I don't know what he's doing to get his body right, but according to social media, he's like on vacation everywhere.
Yeah. Ayuk?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, does he even rehab?
Does he even want to play for the Niners anymore?
I'm like, do you even want to play football anymore? Because even if you don't want to play for the Niners, you need to be rehabbing and conditioning to be in shape to play. Like, I swear, I think sometimes these players get these big contracts and then it's like, I got paid, like, fuck it. And I'm like, that's not how this works. Like Tom Brady is a really good example of that. Like, giving up his pay to win. Like, he was, I mean, people could hate him all he wants, but I'm like, dude, he wanted to play football. So
the first joke I saw today, or fool's joke, whatever, was that Tom Brady's coming back to be the quarterback for the Raiders. I had to stop for a second. I was like, don't do this to me. Like, do not.
No, he's part owner. I think that's like a conflict of interest.
Yeah. What up, Dean?
Hi, Dean. Thanks for joining us. All right. I don't have too many 49ers updates. So we talked about Ayuk. The other thing that's kind of been making headlines is like the cash spending limit that the 49ers have right now. Like they're being really frugal, which is why we didn't go after people in free agency. And I think it was Lynch was at the owners meeting and said that was intentional because they want to pay Purdy. And Purdy's projected to be one of the highest paid NFL players ever.
Have they leaked any numbers at all for him?
No, but there's been talks about like 50, 60 million, but then they're also talking about how he's outperformed Dak Prescott like immensely, and Prescott got a pretty big contract. What was it, last year?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to take care of him. They also were talking about how they knew we were going to have to let go of some of these players because we've spent so much money trying to get a team to the Super Bowl. They're like, this was going to happen. Like,
yeah,
we knew we'd have to start to cut and free up some money so we could pay Purdy and then bring in new talent. So we'll see. And then I was looking at what positions we need because the draft is coming up this month. So we will have some things to talk about because the draft is coming up.
That's exciting.
We got 11 draft picks, and what we really need is a defensive tackle, an offensive tackle, and a defensive end. Those are like the biggest positions that we need right now. Although I also feel like running back.
Getting
My-
a new running back, drafting one.
Yeah. Even if it's a late one, like a late draft pick.
All right, Dean. So when we get closer to the season starting, we'll have you jump on one of the shows and want to go through your predictions for your team. Be fun.
I can't wait till the schedule's out.
I know. Wait, you guys aren't doing the London game, right?
I don't know. We play the Browns, who play in London.
Okay.
So it depends on that. Like, we're not the home team.
I know. We're playing Brazil as the home team, and I wish I could go to that game.
I think
That would have
Brendan and
been,
Stacey were talking about going to that.
yeah, that's what she said. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I would go to the London game.
I know. Did you see that there's the new a bunch of European countries are now are they
Yeah.
sponsoring or promoting?
I think they're able to now watch it. Like, maybe it's going to be like streamed there. Like, those are their local teams, so they're going to be able to watch it on TV. Is what I saw. And then I was like, why are the Rams going to so many damn countries? Like, I swear to God,
So many.
I was like, what the fuck? Just because they're from, well, you guys are from LA too, but they're making, I feel like the Rams internationally is what they're trying, like what they just did with the Dodgers. Like, the Dodgers are this huge team, especially in Japan. I'm like, are you guys trying to make the Rams like that team? Because, you know, you're from LA. Like,
yep. We got Greece. That's it.
we got,
Which
like,
I'm fine with, but
I did see Greece. I was like, okay. I know we got like the UK and a few more. I can't remember because I briefly scrolled through that on Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Niners and back to Niners.
No. He's a great backup, but Purdy's a really good quarterback.
I think people lost so much faith in Purdy just because of last year.
Yeah, I didn't. There was so many, like we talked about last season, there was like so many injuries, so many crazy things that just happened that had an impact on the season. And I think the season will be interesting because we're rebuilding in some of our key positions.
Yeah.
So
you can't let one bad year jade you like that.
If that was the case, then Dean wouldn't be a Patriots fan.
Right, Dean?
I'm kidding, Dean.
We love you.
I don't have any other 49ers news. I don't know. The only other news that I saw starting to come out today was some new rules that were going to be in place.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see those?
I saw a couple of them. So obviously the one that's carried over is the whole tush push rule. And then what was the one that you were telling me about earlier?
Okay, I wrote it down. So there's the new overtime rule that's going into effect right this next season. Because you know they changed the overtime rule for postseason. This is also going to be regular season. So the new overtime rule is going to be overtime is going to be 10 minutes. And each team's going to be able to get possession of the ball. And if in the 10 minutes it's still a tie, the next team to score will win. And a big part of this argument was that Chiefs-Bills game in 22 that went into overtime, and the Chiefs won the coin toss, got the ball, immediately scored and won, and the Bills didn't even get a chance to touch the ball, which I agree with, because I'm like, if you win the coin toss and you have a great drive, that's it, game over.
I am such a huge advocate for that, because I do not think it's fair whenever it goes into overtime, it just pisses me off. It doesn't matter who's playing, because if you win the coin toss, like you say, if you get that first touchdown, you don't make it. If it's not a field goal, the other team doesn't get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not.
It does feel more fair. The tush push is on proposal. There are some other ones that I wrote down. There's like a few new rules, but I got to pull this up because it was too much to write down.
Yeah, pull it up. So David's saying, I'm sick of the 49ers playing 4+ teams coming off bye weeks and going back and forth from West Coast to the East.
That is true. We've had a crazy travel schedule.
They need to all across the board, like, strategize this. I don't know what's been going on, but I feel like that's been happening for the last couple of years.
Part of me goes, is that why we're always injured? Because just the travel alone does so much
Mhm.
to your body when you're on an airplane. And yeah, I agree. I agree.
I wanted to keep Mac on the Patriots.
I wanted you to keep them too. I
Wow.
wanted to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo.
She wants to bring back her crush. She wants to bring him back. John Lynch did speak at the owners meeting, didn't say anything new.
Yeah. The Niners, I feel like, are keeping things like close to the chest.
Check.
You know the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think right now we're probably not going to hear much from anyone. There's a couple players that are still pending, like Keenan Allen, still waiting on that one. But I think for the most part, it's going to be once the draft starts.
totally.
Dean says overtime should keep going until the clock hits 0, like the NFL should go by the college OT rules. Yes.
It sounds like that's what it's going to start to go to, essentially. Like,
I hope
it's
so.
Be 10-minute overtime.
It's you're getting pretty much another quarter.
It was originally proposed as a 15-minute overtime and then got amended to 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. It doesn't need to be an entire quarter.
I think 10 minutes is enough to get it done.
Yeah. And if not, then they play until someone scores. So I'm like, what does that mean? They could just keep going forever.
That's the thing is like, what if you keep going, if you keep tying it up?
You can end in a tie. The only time you can't end in a tie is in the postseason.
That's true. You could end in a tie. I think there was only like 2 tie games last season.
Yeah. There's a couple other rules. So they expanded the use of replay assist. And let me see. That involves which penalties can be subject to replay review. Under the new policy, hits on a defenseless player, grabbing the face mask, performing a horse collar tackle, tripping, and running into a roughing the kicker can be reviewed. Oh, but it came with a catch. Those penalties can only be reviewed if officials throw a flag on the play. If a coach believes the flag was not warranted, he can challenge and potentially have the penalty overturned.
Okay.
Okay. They're also introducing Hawkeye cameras to measure first downs.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so they're going to utilize the Hawkeye cameras to measure the first downs. They're effectively going to replace on-field chain gang measurements. They're going to use 6 8K cameras to track the ball's position on the field.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. And then, last one. Touchbacks will be moved to the 35-yard line. If you remember last year, they were moved to the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
Now touchbacks are moving back to the 35-yard line. Really still trying to make the kick return an exciting event again versus it always being a touchback.
Did you notice a huge difference last year?
Which is why I wonder if they changed it again, because I'm like, it was still just a bunch of touchbacks.
Right. It wasn't anything significant.
Yeah. So that was the biggest rules. That was everything I saw. Yeah. That was everything I saw so far. And that's the biggest. Those rule changes, I think, were the biggest thing I saw in the last 2 weeks. And they came out today, so I was really nervous that like they weren't real. But then I went to I got off Instagram and looked it up.
Fact check.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh. So,
well, like we said, you guys, it was going to be a short show tonight. Didn't have a whole lot of things that we were going to go over. The draft is coming up. So Ash and I have talked about possibly toying around with the idea of a mock draft.
That we've never done and don't even know what to do.
So that could be fun.
Yeah. I mean, we should be trying new things.
So if you have any tips on that, let us know.
Yeah. Instagram, TikTok, hit us up.
Instagram, TikTok, touchdowns _and _ tight ends.
Correct.
If you don't follow us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the button, the little bell, and we'll have the next shows all linked up and queued up so you can set that reminder for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Dean,
for the draft.
Yeah. Dean says because of the other team's matches, the other team's touchdown, then it's like 0-0, and the next team to score wins, and they should just keep going because say defense can't get us up. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just play an extra quarter. Yeah. I think 10 minutes is fine. I mean, I don't really see why they wouldn't just do another quarter, but I mean, I'm okay with 10 minutes.
Yeah. And you play until it sounds like you're going to play an extra quarter, essentially, or 10 minutes of overtime.
Yeah.
Like the ball can go back and forth, and whoever ends with the highest score is going to end with the highest score.
I mean, that's the way it should be. Look at baseball.
Yeah. Oh,
You can
baseball.
go forever. No.
There's like a play clock in baseball now. Like they've really tried to get those games to be a little shorter.
I think there was one where it was like I don't know, it was a ridiculously long game. It went like 14 innings.
I think I remember this. It was maybe during COVID or 21. And I remember trying to stay up to watch it. And it was like midnight. And I was like, I gotta go to bed, man.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
It's not even like we're that good.
No. I do a series every year for mock drafts. I like Mock Draft Buzz Simulator because it gives a lot of info. Thank you. Perfect.
Write that down. Write that note down.
I got it.
Hey, we are getting okay at our predictions. Now the mock draft is kind of like predictions also.
There we go. We're going to do that. And then soon enough, it's fantasy. You love fantasy, don't lie. You're starting to like it more.
I don't dislike it. I just hate losing.
We all hate losing. That's why it's so. I know. All right. Well, we'll do something fun with the mock draft. We'll figure something out. So definitely join us next time in 2 weeks, and April 15th, right? Tax day.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
tax day.
Thank you guys for joining as always. Anything else, Ash?
No. Hope everybody has a great week. Yeah, I think that's it. Make sure you get your taxes done.
Exciting stuff happens this week. So
yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.